almost blew the roof off the house, man, several times in this game.
Because the way that they were closing it out? Or...
I mean, you name it. You name it. From the performances, the captain coming out the gates. We said it, man. This is Nova, that's his home, right? So
this is true.
Once you see he had that shooter's bounce early, we said, okay, the captain is dialed in. The ball movement was good for the most part, especially in the first half. They weren't really able to knock down their shots. I thought the non-Brunson minutes, especially in the first half, they weren't really able to move the ball that well. Give credit to Joel Embiid. He started to cook early in that first half. He led Philadelphia. Karl, with the back injury, foul trouble all night. Forget about it. It was one of those head games for Karl. You got to sit down and have a seat. Third quarter, bro. 30-13 run in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And the play for me of that third was when Mitchie didn't fall for the Embiid pump fake. That first stop that he had on Embiid, and then comes down and catches the Gotham lob from Mikal Bridges. I almost ran out the house, bro. And it's 15 degrees outside. I got shorts and a T-shirt on. I almost ran out the house and not even open the door. So once I saw that, I said, okay, now we ready to scrap. And 30-13. But give credit to Philly. They did clap back in the fourth and put a lot of pressure on the Knicks to close. But they got the job done, man. OG, gritty plays. Captain Clutch, gritty plays. Big win,
Don't forget about Mitch, man. Mitch had some gritty plays out there, too.
I said Mitchie. I said Mitchie set the tone in that third. With Karl basically checked out of this one, Karl went back to New York from the first quarter. It was just a body.
Him and Bridges were both checked out.
They were out of there. They were out of there, man. So, yeah, talk about it, man. Let's go.
Look, the one thing I like, man, is that this team is going through, we know the adversity. You had a nice win against the Nets. To me, wasn't really going to raise the standards, but to come back and lock in, regardless of how the ending was against Philly, man. This is a tough opponent. They're already up 2-0 on you in the season series. You come back and you win this one down to the wire in Philadelphia. I think it's a good bounce back and somewhat of a statement game for where this team is right now. Now, you could say, Towns, Bridges weren't giving you their best tonight, but everybody else was certainly locked in. And to me, man, the biggest thing is the role players. Role players are staying focused, staying locked in, man. With everything, with all the adversity that we talked about that's going on in this locker room, OG, Mitch, Shamet, even the few minutes that Huck Porty got in there, man, wasn't fantastic. But guys like that who are still locked in, McBride, man, McBride didn't shoot well, but look, the amount of times that he's out there just defending at a high level, trying and giving that effort, I mean, it's nice to see that these guys still are trying to figure their thing out, man, including Josh Hart, too. Can't forget him either. So I thought it was a good effort, man. But Brunson, damn. That third, I know he came out with the shooter's touch early, but that third quarter was when the Brunson burner started getting going, man. To me, it was a masterclass performance in that third quarter.
Yeah.
You lose Towns, foul trouble, you need an answer. That's when your captain steps up, man. That's when your captain steps up and gives you everything that is needed. Yeah, I just thought he was fantastic.
He had to because, give credit to Philly's defense. Philly's defense, I thought, really stifled the Knicks role players in the first half. You really saw where the Knicks desperately needed good ball handling because Philadelphia's defense really pressured the Knicks. And so, Cap really had to have it going tonight, man, to even give them a chance to be in this one. So him coming out with that shooter's bounce was excellent. He scored a ton in the third quarter, as you said, really started to open up in the third. The footwork was on display. It was another one of those master classes, but the 6 dimes as well. Excellent job, man, just getting guys open. The baseline cuts were open all day. That typically is when you're going up against it's more aggressive defenses. So I thought he did a good job mixing it up. He was aggressive as a scorer when he needed to be, and then getting guys, feeding guys when they were open. So Cap had a really good balanced game, and especially with Karl-Anthony Towns essentially a non-factor, he had to get it done for him. So great job by Cap there. Let's talk about the adjustment by Mike Brown in that fourth quarter. As you said, Mikal was, it was so funny. I posted today from the KFTV archives, John Starks' reflection on Game 7. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm watching Mikal Bridges go 3 for 16. John Starks goes 2 for 16. Mikal Bridges goes 3 for 16. And I said, all right, you got to have a seat because you're having a John Starks moment right now. You got to go sit down. Shout out to Mike Brown for making that correction midway through the fourth when Philly's charging. He goes back to Shamet. And then another big thing that he did, I was waiting for him to do this the entire game. Because in the 24 playoff series, we saw when Tibbs went to OG to guard Embiid, they did a good job, especially fronting him and preventing those entry passes. He did a great job. I was waiting for when Brown was going to go to that. He does that. He sits Mitch. Towns fouls out. He sits Mitch. They play great defense on Embiid, and he goes small the rest of the way. It was Brunson, Deuce, Shamet, Hart, and OG. Talk about that closing lineup, man.
Hey, man, I was hoping you were going to bring that up because that's a statement to say, hey, OG, I believe in you more than enough to stop Joel Embiid. I mean, look, he has a difficult time guarding Maxey just because of that speed, but to go with OG at the 5, and these are the type of matchups. And look, Embiid, as you see, falls, hurts his, looks like he's, grimacing throughout the rest of the game because it looks like he hurt his knee again. So this is still going to be even more of a favorable matchup for OG just because of his strength, athleticism, his mobility, so he can keep in front of Joel. But look, to go with the small ball lineup because Shamet was playing well tonight. All right, he was knocking down threes. OG was playing well. He was knocking down threes. Hart was giving you the energy and the effort that you needed tonight. And then McBride, even though, like I said, he wasn't creating shots, you wanted him out there with that Maxey VJ backcourt tandem. So you're going to have somebody out there that can help with the perimeter. You're going to have OG who can help with the back line. And then on top of that, you're still keeping guys who are capable shooters out there next to Josh Hart. And the next thing you know, you still spread the floor out enough with all those guys. So for Mike Brown, and keep in mind, CB, 0 has this lineup been out there. 0. This is the first time he utilized that. First time, paid some big dividends because Shamet and OG in particular, 3 big threes at the end of that game. You're talking about like needing it where this game could have easily gone sideways and gone in Philly's direction. You get OG who knocks down 2 big threes, Shamet with the cherry on top, and then there you go, man. There you have it. So that lineup, and this is where the learning comes from Mike Brown saying, let me experiment, man.
Yeah.
You didn't see Jordan Clarkson tonight.
No Clarkson.
Giving him that rest, saying, hey, go figure it out, man. We're gonna out here and shine Yabusele, see if anyone wants him tonight in the 3 minutes that he played. But let's see what we got with this rotation right now. And Shamet showed out he could come up big, and so did McBride, man, even though it was more so defensively. And so you get to learn a lot for Mike Brown right now, saying, all right, I can use this lineup. If you got to face Philadelphia in the postseason, you have this knowledge right here saying this is a good lineup I can go to because it's paid dividends. And even so, if you're playing against a team that relies heavily on a center like Embiid or has a dynamic backcourt, this is a lineup out there that can keep up with the pace, the speed, and get some decent rim protection because OG's been a solid rim protector as well. So good stuff by Mike Brown, man, going to this lineup to close it out.
Landry Shamet was fantastic tonight. 12 points, 4-9 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown, 4 rebounds, 2 dimes. One of the things in particular, his defense on Maxey, and in particular, bro, navigating those screens, coming off of a separated shoulder, dislocated, whatever you want to call it. And Landry got gritty out there, man. He was hitting the deck, fighting through the screens, and then knocking it down from downtown. And as Ryan Rucco said on the telecast, why Mike Brown really likes going with Shamet is the constant movement in the half court, which is critical, especially when you're going up against a good defense like this, athletic defense like this. You have to keep them moving to find those holes. So I thought Shanton Landry just gives them efficiency on both ends of the floor. And he was great tonight, man. Great job by Landry Shamet tonight, man.
Yeah, man, this is why we've talked about the CP where you need another wing who's going to give you energy and effort on the defensive end. And outside of the guys on the bench, I mean, we know McBride will give you that. But from a perimeter standpoint, it's going to be Landry Shamet who comes in, number 2 at that. So great having him back. And the one thing that you can't forget about him is that he's got a quick trigger. As soon as he catches it, he is willing to put up a 3. And you need that. You need somebody who is a good 3-point shooter and is going to make the defense pay. If you give him just a little bit of separation, he's going to drill it. And that also causes defenses to have to chase out. And then over time, right, if he's out there and you're missing that assignment and you got to cover ground, you start to get tired. And the next thing you know, the defense starts to break down and it's going to be in your favor. Either you're opening up lanes for Brunson or whoever to attack the rim, or you're going to get those open threes from Shamet, man. So that's kudos to Shamet, man. Way to bounce back, man. Because it took a while for him last season to get back into rhythm, and getting back into rhythm real quick right now.
I got the T-shirt on right here.
Mitch, you ain't no stitch.
I got the T-shirt on. Hang on. Let me move my microphone. Hang. You see it. You see it, bro. You see it. Blockness got his revenge. He got his revenge tonight. You know when you see in the movie when, like, you know, the good guy, he's trying to beat the bad guy up and, like, he's got to go through his trials and tribulations, but he gets him at the end? That was like Mitchie with Embiid.
CP.
You know what I'm saying?
CP, you have the script right there, man. It's Rocky versus Apollo. Come on, man. You had it right there.
He hurt our guy with the dirty play, and then he destroyed Mitchie in the last matchup. Let's give him credit. He really did. He schooled Mitchie in the last matchup at the Garden. First half, he couldn't solve him. Embiid was cooking in that first half. He was leading Philadelphia. He was cooking Towns. He was cooking Mitchie. He was outsmarting them. But like I said, man, that first play of that third quarter, they went to Embiid, and Mitch didn't fall for it. He stayed down on the pump fake. I said, okay, he's ready. He made the adjustment. Lateral quickness was good. He had to get switched out onto Maxey, onto Paul George in that third quarter. So you had two things. You had the Blockness monster on the defensive side, but how about Big Country going to him in the high post? You know, everybody's waiting for him to put that on the floor. We've seen it in the workout tapes. Mitchie at the high post, turn around, puts it on the floor. Yo, that looked like rookie year Mitch. That was insane, bro. Mitchell Robinson, man, talk about putting, and he was mic'd up in this game too. How apropos. Putting the team on his back in place of the big bodega. 6 points, 10 rebounds for Mitchie, 6 offensive rebounds, 2 block shots, 2 steals. You got to feed Big Country, man. Let's go. Cooking tonight. And he's getting the Tims. You know he's getting the Tims. Well, OG might get the Tims tonight, but Mitch might get the Tims too, man.
That might be,
maybe one and the other. Maybe one's got one holder one Tim, one holder the other Tim. It might be a tie tonight, man.
It's tough, man, because I mean, look, I know you're going to talk about all these other plays like the lobs and putting the ball on the deck and dunking it, but you know what? The one that stood out to me, CP. This is the one that stood out to me because it's just the effort. The thing about Mitchell Robinson is the effort, man. And the one that stood out to me is the offensive rebound that he got. Swung it out to Brunson. Brunson kicks it to Shamet. Shamet knocks down the 3. That, to me, is the bigger play because you just need effort against this Sixers team, man. They come out there, they're gritty. And you have to out-effort these guys. And the way that he attacks the offensive boards, that's what you got to love about Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
6 offensive boards tonight. 10 boards, man. 27 minutes. The defense, stopping Embiid.
Critical. Being
out there on the perimeter. He was looking prime Mitchie, man.
Prime
This is the guy who we saw.
Mitchie.
This is who we saw in the postseason. The man who was covering 5 players against the Celtics against the strip.
Prime Mitchell Robinson, man. What a game by Mitchie tonight, man. Back to the key stats of the night. I had to divert a little bit. Hey, interesting shooting night for both teams. It's 44% from the field for the Knicks, 51 for Philly. Knicks shoot 34 from downtown, but I think that was a change from, I believe, where were they at in the first half? They were around that. They were around like 33% from downtown, I believe, in the first half. You see that stat on NBA.com yet?
Yeah, let me roll it through right now and see what they were shooting.
Yeah, I think they were at like 33% in the first half. So they finished 34 for the game, but it's
especially you're talking about, right?
No, it's Knicks. What did Knicks shoot from 3 in the first half?
They shot 33%.
33.
Yep.
Yeah, so they finished shooting 34, but I think that check the third quarter, though. They were hot.
Second half, they shot 35%.
Right, but the third quarter in particular.
Third quarter, They shot 44% from
44%.
downtown.
Yeah, they were hot. They were definitely hot. So, but they did finish shooting 34% from downtown. This one right here, the free throws was crazy. I mean, luckily Philly shot 76% from the field, but the Knicks shooting 56% from the charity stripe is crazy, and they almost cost them the game. They did win the rebounding battle by a handful, though, Al, 53-38. So great job on the boards, including the 19 offensive rebounds. And just double check that in terms of how many second chance how many second chance points they registered off of that. They won the assist battle 27-24. This was big, too. Kept the turnovers relatively low. You don't want to give Maxey and those boys extra ammunition and kill you. I thought they kept it fairly reasonable. 11 turnovers leading to 10 Philly points, and Philly turning it over 14 times, which led to 15 Knicks points. Philly did win the fast break battle 16-10. Points in the paint went to Philly 50-42. And then largest lead of the night, 17 for the Knicks, 6 for Philly. Funnily enough, Knicks led this one 71% of the time to 26 for the Sixers.
The one that stands out to me, CP, is the one that you asked about, the second chance opportunities. Second chance points. Knicks won that battle 26-4 tonight.
There you go.
So they were dominant on the boards. I mean, 53-37 screams it right there. But what an effort, man. I mean, you talk about OG, Hart, and Mitch leading the way on the glass, and then you see how that turns out with 26 second chance opportunities to 4. 26 for the New York Knicks, that is. That's a hell of a dominant performance, man, considering that you have Joel Embiid on the other side. And, you know, it's just, wow. I'm just shocked that it was just that much, man.
Yeah.
But, look, this is I keep talking about it every single time, where you need to be able to control the glass in order to stay in these games and win, man. And you think about how their poor free throw shooting almost cost them the game. What kept them in the game was the rebounding.
Yeah.
The second chance opportunities, the stopping of Philly just getting a possession. That is what saved them, because even when it came down late to the stretch, right? You talk about the Knicks getting another chance to go put up a shot. So good job by them, man. That's the one that stood out to me. And then unfortunately, they got to continue to work on the CP, but fast break points. They lost 16-10. Thankfully, it wasn't a dominant performance by Philly with the guys that they have on the other end with VJ and Maxey. But Knicks just got to figure out a way to keep that thing in the middle, man, because they got to make sure to take care of those take advantage of those opportunities, because it just makes the game easier for them. So when I see 10 points, not a great night for Josh Hart out in transition, but we always know it's going to get better, man, as he gets back into rhythm.
Yeah. Good stuff by you there. I'm gonna go with the turnovers. I think keeping the turnovers low was certainly helpful for this team in terms of just climbing back into this thing and kind of maintaining things, because with the free throws kind of low and having some difficulties in terms of knocking down shots at certain points of this game, keeping the turnovers low kind of kept them in it. And when they've been in the midst of this poor streak, I thought the turnover battle, they've been losing that and giving up a lot because their defense has been crumbling. So I thought they did a good job, especially the transition, not allowing the turnovers to kill them out in transition, which it typically has. So overall, good job by them there and limiting the damage. Philadelphia 6th in the league right now in turnover percentage. So good job by the Knicks there, taking care of the ball, limiting the damage against the Philadelphia Sixers team that was at home during this one. So overall, just good job by the Knicks taking care of the ball amidst the pressure by Philadelphia.
The Knicks look like the 23-24 Knicks out there today.
Yeah.
They look like Shamet took on the role of Dante, and then Mitch was obviously like an I-Heart type role.
Mm-hmm.
What you saw, man, I called in on the last post game. I don't know if you remember what I was saying, Alex, but I was saying that they need to slow the game down and not just go to take threes right away. Take high quality threes.
Yeah.
So what you saw was like, instead of having the three as the first option, what they did was drive into the paint, kept driving through the teeth of the defense and driving to the paint and then kicking it out. The ball movement was crazy. But the thing is, man, you can tell that Hart and Brunson they want to make it known, especially by the comments Hart made yesterday in the pregame. You could tell, I don't know if you guys saw the clip where Cat went down on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
This dude posted it on Twitter, Big Nick Energy. Deuce and Hart walk over to him, and you could hear Hart tell him, "Yo, all right, man, get up. Come on, man, get up." He tells him like twice, and then Deuce tells him, "Yo, get up, let's go." You know?
Okay. They're
So
trying to toughen him up, man.
exactly,
They know.
exactly.
Everybody knows, and that's why there's people like, oh man, you're hating. You know, the sensitive people. We came to the same impasse with Julius. You know, but Julius
Yo,
was tougher. He just wasn't smarter. With Towns, they're
that's
trying to toughen him up. They know they need him for this mission. We need him.
right. So what you heard at the beginning of the clip, I'm sure it's going to go on social media, but like what you heard at the beginning of the clip is you hear Shamet tell him take the time you need, and then Josh Hart tells him, "Nah, man, you good. Come on, get up. Yeah, come on." So next thing I wanted to say, man, is that Bridges, he's just not making his physicality, like he's not bringing intensity, right?
Yeah.
So the other team isn't really feeling him. If you saw when Shamet came in there, he made Max's life hell, right? He was just running over these picks, he was just in his grill, in his chest the entire night. But
Yeah.
yo, looking at the way they played, man, they crashed the boards, looked like the old Knicks. And then finally, this, man. If Mikhail going to shoot 3 for 16 and Cat going to shoot 2 for 4, and they're just not there mentally, I don't know. I keep saying that. I keep beating the drum. I would still trade Cat plus filler or even Mikhail
Yeah.
and tell Giannis like, yo, go rest until March.